Hello everyone, so welcome to part 2 of our 15-man CM0102 FIFA World Cup 2002 online network game. So today is Thursday the 31st of October 2024. We did part 1 on Sunday. As you can see from the last video, we concluded all the group games, and this session was to go ahead with the knockouts and see who's crowned champion. So there was 11 players left. As you can see from the manager status screen, there's 10 players here, 10 players. Mark Whittaker of Uruguay had trouble connecting today, so unfortunately for him, he had to be retired from Uruguay. He couldn't take him through the knockouts, unfortunately for him. So yeah, he didn't take part today, but these 10 did, as you can see from here. So yeah, got some exciting games to show you. Let's get on to it. So this is how it went. This is how the second round went. There's a big shock in there, as you can see. So let's take you through it. So first up was France v South Africa. William McGregor's France side completing a pretty routine, straightforward win against South Africa. And that's how William set up his France team. Thierry Henry bagging a hat-trick and Emmanuel Petit getting a 90th minute own goal. But yeah, 3-1 win for France meant that they advanced to the quarterfinals as expected. Then you had Portugal versus China. Stuart Danton's Portugal. Pretty close judging by the stats. China didn't roll over and die without a fight. But Stuart got the job done in the end, winning 2-1 despite a late goal from China. And all in all, a good tournament for China, beating my Brazil in the groups, and even to get to the knockouts is a massive thing for them. But yeah, Stuart got the job done, beating them 2-1. Then you had the grudge match in Ireland versus England, and a real cracker there. Chris Thomas's England. Real cracking match this, as you'll see in a second. Pretty close. Look at that. So Ireland equalised on the 89th minute to make it 2-2, and then Mr. Golden Balls himself, David Beckham, steps up, 100th minute, scores a golden goal to take England through to the quarter-final. And that's how Chris set up. I don't know if I showed you Stuart's formation. I can't remember if I showed you or not. Sorry, I'll go back. But yeah, that's how he lined up with his Portuguese team. Okay, then it was the battle of the two human managers. You have Wayne Chester's Belgium versus Chris Henson's Mexico. And that was a cracker of a game, as you can see. Took into extra time, won by a golden goal. Close game. Very close game. A lot of drama in it. Not a lot of shots on goal, but it was tight. And look at that. 88th minute equaliser from Belgium after Mexico were leading, and then they went on, took the momentum into the extra time and won by a golden goal. That was how Belgium set up. And Mexico's set up there. So Belgium went through. Then you had Slovenia versus Uruguay. So two AI teams. Uruguay was obviously Mark Whittaker's team, but as stated at the beginning of the video, Mark couldn't get on tonight, so had to relinquish control of Uruguay, and they've obviously got in someone else for the knockouts. So yeah, 1-0 win for Uruguay there. I'll show you their setup because it's different to obviously what Mark was playing. That's how they set up, playing long ball actually. But yeah, that was Uruguay. Obviously myself, what a shock this is. Myself versus Adnan's Poland. Now what happened here was basically Adnan was struggling to get in for the second round. He kept booting him out and freezing and things like that. So what we did, we kept Adnan on holiday. He set his match tactics to what he originally had planned to play against my Brazil. So we used his match tactics and his team instructions and his team selection. So it was basically him managing the game. Just he wasn't in the server for this particular game because he couldn't get in. So yeah, he was credited with this victory. It was all his because it was all his tactic and his team selection. The only thing he obviously didn't do was the substitutions. But yeah, this was definitely credited down to Adnan's tactics, and yeah, what a shock. The second shock of the tournament for me in my Brazil side. Look at that, Marcos having an absolute shocker. I'll show you in a second obviously. So I had the better of the game. There was more possession, pass completion from Poland, but I had more shots. But shots are not goals at the end of the day, and as you can see, look at that, what a thriller of a match. So Poland took the lead. I equalised late on in the 68th minute, then Poland scored in the 88th minute. It looked like it was game over. Then a Ronaldinho penalty in the 90th minute takes it to extra time. And then just 4 minutes later, Poland did the unthinkable, scored the golden goal and knocked me out. Gutting, but you've got to credit Adnan for this. So this was his tactics. Obviously, as mentioned, he wasn't in the server for this game at the time because he was struggling to get on. But these are his tactics and team selection. He was playing very defensively, as you can see, trying to frustrate me, but actually worked in his favour because he nicked some goals. So that was his setup, and this was how I set up. I stayed how I'd been going all along. I did change a few player instructions, tweak them a little bit, but all in all, this tactic's not worked for me because I tried something different to what I usually use on CM. I don't usually play a formation like this, but I thought I'd try and replicate that of real life, and I've just leaked way too many goals and it's cost me in the end. So that's how I started off. But yeah, it's seen me knocked out of the tournament and an inevitable sacking to come for me after that shock result and a poor tournament. So then you had the battle of the heavyweights, Argentina and Germany. You had Matty Hughes' Argentina versus Carl Rhodes' Germany. And as you can see, Matty Hughes getting a pretty emphatic 3-0 victory there. Absolutely levered Germany. One shot on goal for Germany. That's terrible, really. That was just a one-sided beatdown. And that was how Matty set himself up. And Cole set his Germany team up as follows. But yeah, poor game for him. And Germany have been well out of sorts in this tournament, if I'm honest. Scraped through by the skin of their teeth, but got a pretty emphatic beating there. And then to conclude it, you have Michael Godfrey's Italy against AI-controlled Russia. 2-0 to Michael Godfrey's Italy. Domination there, really, wasn't it? And that was Michael's tactics. There we go. So that was the second round. On to the quarter-final stage. And this is the quarter-finals. So a lot of human versus human games here. In fact, they were all human versus human, except for the Uruguay-Poland game, which would have been human versus human if Mark could have got on. But yeah, this is how it went. So you had William McGregor's France versus Stuart Danton's Portugal. Stuart coming away with the victory there. Sending off of Zidane in the 36th minute, that's always going to cause you problems. And I think that ultimately cost William in the end. He had the better of the game, as you can see from the stats. Pretty much dominated the game. But Portugal come away with the victory. And that was how William set up with his France team. And that's how Stuart set up with his Portuguese team. England versus Belgium. England managed by Chris Thomas versus Wayne Chester's Belgium. 3-1 victory for the mighty England. And a sending off there in the 29th minute probably made it a lot harder. Well, it did obviously make it a lot harder for Belgium, but England get the job done. It was pretty much dominated by England there. England set up here. And Belgium set up. So Uruguay and Poland. At this point, Adnan was back in the server. He managed to get in for the quarterfinals. So he was, even though he technically did manage the last game against me, but not from not being in the server, he was present for this in the server, and he managed this game. Done very well for Poland, because they are probably the weakest out of all the control teams, I think. And you'll see in a sec how close he was from this. Very, very close game. Shaded in stats by him. Look at that, he equalised in the 90th minute. 90th minute. And then just narrowly lost out on penalties, which is always a lottery. Great tournament for Adnan there with his Poland team. I think he can be very proud of that. I think he said before, if he could get them to the quarterfinals, that would be an amazing achievement, and I think I second that. Fair play to him. So that was Uruguay's setup. Obviously, Mark Whittaker not managing them throughout the knockouts, and that was Adu's setup, same as what he's gone for before. Only he wasn't so defensive this time. He went for it a bit more and just come up short. Great tournament for Adnan. And then last but not least of the quarter-final stage, you got Argentina v Italy, a real heavyweight clash there. Matty Hughes' Argentina v Michael Godfrey's Italy, and as you can see, Italy utterly dominated that game. Utterly dominated it. Argentina couldn't get a sniff. That was Matty's setup. And Michael sticking with what he's been using all tournament. Two 2-0 victory. That's the quarterfinals. So now we're getting close. We're getting close. Semi-final time. Look at that. Portugal versus England. Stuart Danton's Portugal versus Chris Thomas's England. There's a lot of shots in that game. Close game, that. Very exciting game. Look at that. One in extra time via the golden goal rule. by Nuno Gomes to take Stuart Danton through to the final. Yeah, brilliant there. Look, very, very exciting game. That's how Portugal set up. This is our England set up. Portugal, our first finalists. And then Italy, obviously Michael Godfrey taking on the now AI controlled Uruguay. Emphatic 4-0 victory. Look at that, utter domination. Not a sniff for Uruguay. Not a sniff. But for them to get to the semis is a good achievement. I'm sure Mark would have wanted to take that accolade for himself, but you know, obviously he couldn't get on because of the issues. But yeah, look at that. Michael dominated there, played his cards completely right. Uruguay set up differently in this time. Very weird formation there. Obviously didn't work for him. Went defensive on the counter attack. And then Michael sticking to what he stuck to all tournament again. Making the final. So Portugal-Italy final. England-Uruguay 3rd and 4th. So here we go for the 3rd and 4th. Chris Thomas takes his England team to the bronze medal. Seeing out the tournament with a routine 2-0 win against Uruguay. Stevie G getting the man of the match award. Not a lot of excitement in the game. Pretty close. An own goal and then Michael Owen. Uruguay obviously sticking with what they stuck to last time, even though they were shocking. Playing for penalties by the looks of it. And then Chris setting up as he has all tournament, taking the 3rd place. Then it's the big one. The big one's here. And that's how it ended. A real shock, if I'm honest. Most people would have had Italy down there. Well, a lot of people had Italy down there as the winners. But Stuart Danton pulls off a shock there. Even though Portugal are pretty strong, Italy are quite a bit stronger, really, in all honesty. And Stuart gets a 2-0 victory to take the World Cup to Portugal, and for Stuart to get his name down on the Roll of Honour as our first international tournament champion. That's how it went down. Michael will be gutted, really. He'll be gutted. He went 2-0 down early doors. He had the better of the game. I mean, Portugal have been doing that a lot this tournament. Not really dominating games, but being clinical where it matters and coming out with a victory. And fair play to Stuart for his management skills there. Really did pull off a shock here. You could say it was a champ man in. But yeah, Michael dominated, and Stuart gets the victory, leads Portugal to glory. That was his setup. And Michael sticking to what he knows best. Obviously was working because he was playing well, but he just couldn't be clinical like he had been all tournament. And yeah, there we have it. So Portugal first, Stuart Danton. Italy second, Michael Godfrey. England third, Chris Thomas. And then an AI controlled Uruguay, even though they were managed in the group by Mark Whittaker, fourth. There you have it, Portugal on the Roll of Honour in the game. 3 human managers take their place there, and they'll be on the Roll of Honour on the Facebook group as well. We will include obviously the winners, the runners up, and the 3rd place and 4th place on our Roll of Honour on the Facebook group. Let's have a look at golden goal. So average rating, Diego Tristan, best player. Goals, David Trezeguet leading the way there with 5. Conceded, Costa Rica, the goalkeeper there, conceded 11 goals. Oliver Kahn of Germany 10, and Paul Robinson 10. There's a lot of goals conceded there. Penalties, not many penalties in the tournament by the looks of it. Assists, Figo, Gerrard. Team goals, team conceded, games won, games lost, yellow cards, Rio topping that with Corneliuson and De Los Santos. Red cards, Rio again. Man of the matches, Trezeguet and Kaluzny and Koklov of Russia. Pass completion, Ireland's Andy Bryan. My Lucio, shame it didn't do much for me. Tackles, dribbles, shots on target, couple of Chinese players. Average rating, as we've seen already, Diego Tristan. So we know who won the golden ball. I think they do a team in the tournament later on, but we won't show you that. So that was how it all went out. The plan is to eventually get together again. I'll probably put a sign up again. And what we do, we holiday on 2 years to the UEFA Euro 2004 in this particular save. We'll see who's qualified, what the groups are, so basically see what the 16 teams are, see if we can get 16 players. Then it's basically a 16-man human control tournament. If we don't get 16, we'll roll with what we get, but that is the plan, to holiday 2 years on to that tournament and use that as our next international tournament. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the recap video. It's been a thoroughly entertaining tournament. A success. It's had its pitfalls on the way. There's been a lot of connection problems, and obviously a couple of managers not being able to connect. Ronnie Farrell with his Denmark in the first one, and then Mark Whittaker unfortunately not being allowed to see out the knockouts. So it has had its issues, but we got through it in the end and done it. Big shout out to Michael Chambers as well. Mikey, Championship Manager legend, hosted these 2 sessions for us. A lot of patience of a saint, always willing to help. Top marks and big thanks to him. Couldn't have done it without him. So yeah, thanks a lot. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully see you again for another one.